Hey everybody, just wanted to come to you live. I know, we've been sending a lot of messages out about New Year, New You, and it's something we're really passionate about, and I want to talk a little bit about why we're so passionate about it. How was your day today? How would you rank it on a scale of 1 to 10? Was it an 8, a 9, or a 10? If it wasn't, then I would definitely look into what this can do for you because when we start to look at what happens in a day and how things come at us, our lives are full of stress, anxiety, overwhelm, and all the things that continue to really place us in a space that doesn't allow us to be productive. And that ultimately affects all areas of our life, from our relationships to our physical health to our emotional health to um, ultimately what we can go do in the world and influence that we can make. And so, as I've thought a lot about what people have had to say and, from our previous challenge that we just did that was modeled after this program, and like thinking about why our last challenge was different from the challenges we've done in the past. Um, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what that looks like, right? Provide you some clarity, give you a little bit more ability to understand how this isn't just about body fat reduction, weight loss, increasing personal performance. And I know that that's what we're known for. And I know that, we love doing and helping people do those things. And the outcome of getting all of these strategies, processes, systems, and just surrounding yourself with a community that'll continue to move you forward and help you see possibility is all of those things, right? You're going to accomplish your goals. But when we stay focused just on our goals and not on the things that are going to allow us to get there, we oftentimes fail, right? And, I've watched time and time again, when you start a challenge, for example, you have half of your people that actually really partake in it and take it very seriously on both the educational side of things, the content side of things, the competition side of things, all the things that drives them. You have about half of the people that did a challenge initially who, they start a challenge and they're just not ready, right? And that's okay. Because oftentimes they're able to take some really valuable things away from that. And so later on, they're able to apply those things to their life. They're able to use those things to move themselves forward and really help themselves become a better version of themselves. So when you start to look at what makes this particular challenge, New Year, much different than probably any challenge that you've ever experienced before, it is that we're focusing on intention. We're focusing on helping people change and modify the things in their lives that ultimately result in imbalance, result in poor health, which the outcome of that is weight gain and weight loss, stress, anxiety, overwhelm. It is all the things that we don't want present in our life. And so instead of focusing on just a nutrition plan, which we're going to provide you awesome nutritional content, we're going to provide you nutritional content on a platform that will allow you really to eat the way you want to, really understand the food sources that are going to fuel your body exactly the way they need to be fueled, and in relation to what your goals are, whether that be body fat reduction, increasing lean body mass, increasing performance, feeling better, whatever that looks like, right? So please don't worry about that, because you can print off a nutrition plan from Google, and will you follow it, right? Will you have the direction you need and adaptation to modifying it to fit your needs? What works for one person doesn't work for the next, right? And we've always really worked from that place. We've always said, just because keto works for one person is not going to work for another. Just because, paleo works for one person doesn't work for another. Just because Optavia works great for one person doesn't mean it's going to work great for the next person, right? And it's adopting something that's going to work for you, right? And when you adopt what works for you and you're bought into that because it's easy, because it fits your lifestyle, because it allows you to do the things that you want to do, feel the way you want to feel, and to progress in the direction that you want to progress in, then you'll continue to do it. And if it's easy, and if you don't have you can't create excuses for yourself or barriers, roadblocks, limitations to why you can't continue to follow that plan, then you'll be successful on it. But just like somebody who decides to run a marathon, I've ran many. I ran 6 in my life. The first marathon I ran was probably one of the most challenging things I've ever done initially, because I hadn't done a lot of endurance running. and I didn't enjoy it, right? And I went from running one marathon to running six, and it was a period of time in my life where it served me well, but it also didn't provide me the body that I wanted. It didn't allow me to do the things that I wanted to do the way I wanted to do them, etc. But it did again serve a purpose in my life for that period of time, and I learned from that experience. And actually, shortly after that portion of my life, I got to a place where I was like, okay, not everybody can go out and run a marathon. Not everybody can, commit that level of time, energy, and effort to activity every day, right? And so I started to think a little bit differently, and that was the start of what has become Inspired Life Fitness, right? It's creating a place where people from all backgrounds, abilities, and levels can continue to be the best version of themselves in health and fitness and life, and that's done through meeting you where you are, right? So let's say at some point in your life you decided to run a marathon, right? And when you decided that run that marathon, you made that commitment to yourself, you made that decision and you wanted to move yourself forward and you accomplished that marathon. Well, oftentimes what happens is that once you've accomplished the goal, is you revert back to your old habits, behaviors, routines, and patterns. And in doing so, you then have the byproduct of that, the outcome of that, right? That outcome is oftentimes maybe not as good a health, or increasing your weight, or maybe not having the outlet you need in your life that helps reduce the stress that you want reduced in your life. Maybe you don't exercise because it makes you feel good. You do it because of it's good for you, right? You don't necessarily enjoy exercise. There's a lot of people out there that is exactly what their barrier is they don't enjoy exercise and they just do it because they have to. And that's a mind shift, right? We should do things because we want to do them. You get to go exercise today. Your body is capable of doing things far beyond what you know and what you believe. And when you challenge yourself at a level that you start to understand that will lead to you doing greater things. And so let's say you start a diet plan, right? And you lose X amount of weight and let's say you lose 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 20 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever that looks like, right? You get to your goal, you feel good, and you have a tendency to slip back into all of those patterns, habits, routines, and behaviors that you really adapted and you adopted in your life in a very young age, right? I, myself, Tiffany, and many people we know have these same issues, right? We find ourselves getting somewhere because we're relying on the goal to get us there, but then we quit following the systems and processes that help us ultimately achieve greater things. And so, what this challenge is doing for other people is it's creating a platform that allows you to understand you're not alone. It's providing you valuable information that gives you the ability to take these things and apply them to multiple areas of your life, not just weight loss and performance. It allows you to maybe go out and break away from a job that you're not enjoying because you have the confidence to do so, right? It allows you to start to adapt habits that are going to allow you to save money, that gets you out of the financial stress that you might be under. It all of the skills, all of the information that we use in this program aren't going to just help you lose weight and reduce body fat. It's going to help you live better. When we talk about in health and fitness and life, isn't just a catchy phrase, right? It's something that I came up with a really long time ago because it's a moral compass for me, right? If I just focus on my fitness, I have a gap. If I'm just focusing on my health, I have a gap. If I'm just focusing on my life, I have a gap. I have to be focusing on all of those things. All three of those things are very important. And so as you continue to think about what it is that you want to do in 2020, what we want to do is we want to help you make 2022 your best year yet. We want to help you not repeat some of the vicious cycles that you probably have repeated in your life year after year, decade after decade in some people's cases. And we want to help you move forward in a direction that's going to allow you to feel good. It's going to allow you to influence other people in a way that you've never influenced them before, because you're gonna be vibrant and living an abundant lifestyle that allows you to have energy flowing out of you, and it attracts people to you, right? And the community and the accountability that's been adopted and created through our last challenge, through our Ascend program, which is a continuation. A lot of the fears that people have when they start a challenge is they're going to take on too much. They're going to take on too many things at once, or a goal that's far too large for them to ultimately see the results that they want to see from adopting or from taking on or making the decision to engage themselves in that challenge, right? And so instead of being focused on these big, audacious goals, right, which we all have, we're going to break them down into manageable things and help you learn to master those things, help you learn to move yourself forward in a direction where you can apply that not only to weight loss and not only to reducing stress in your life and not only to the relationships that you want to improve in your life and your career, but to allow you to pass that on to other people and create an influence for yourself of people that are congruent to your goals, that support you, right? Oftentimes people fail because of their either environment or their social circles, right? You think about that for a moment. If every day you work in a place and you walk into a break room that has donuts and cookies, do you think you're going to eat donuts and cookies? If you live in a household every day that you're surrounded by an alcoholic and drug addicts, at some point, would you potentially become an alcoholic or a drug addict? Probably, because you become a product of the environment that you're in. You become a product of the influence that you have and that is most present in your life. And so what we want to do, we want to provide you the ability, not just when you're in our studio for an hour, the other 23 hours a day that you're allowing life to come at you. We want to give you the tools that are going to allow you to be successful in all areas of your life. And they're going to allow a person to take something that they saw as maybe unattainable or unrealistic for themselves and accomplish that goal. And then they're going to move from that goal to something that maybe right now they can't even envision or see. And I understand that not everybody's ready. I understand that we have continually, fed information to you and tried to connect with you. And if you're thinking or you're creating limitations, barriers, or restrictions for why this won't work for you, then that's not the space you need to be in. And I don't want to um, talk anybody into doing this, right? I want you to make a decision that is best for you, that's going to allow you to understand that by taking small steps in the right direction to get yourself 1% better every day, 33% better every year, right? In all areas of your life. If you stay where you're at right now, then you'll become probably anywhere between 20 and 50% worse than you are now, right? I'm a person that if I'm not in a state of growing and development and not in a place where I kind of see what's in front of me, I start to lose momentum. And when I start to lose momentum, I get sad, I get depressed, and I know it's probably hard for many to believe that that is even possible, but it happens. It happens to me. And you're not alone, right? We we have an experience with groups of people from multiple backgrounds with advantage and disadvantage, right? Um, when you look at how people are designed or have created for themselves a pattern in their life that kind of creates a predetermined outcome for them. And that predetermined outcome can be changed. It's that vicious cycle that we repeat time after time after time. We see it in all areas of our life. I was having a conversation with a client yesterday, and that client comes from a family of construction workers. And I asked him, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And he said, "I don't know. I think I'm probably going to I'm going to work in construction." And their family does very well, but I'm like, "Would you be happy doing construction?" And he's like, "I don't know. I haven't done it." And I said, "Well, you're young. You should start to think about those things. you should start to think about, what it is that you want to do in your life. Because I wish somebody would have sooner in my life started to instill these things in me. And had they done so, I would probably be in a different place. And not that I'm not happy with where I am in my life. I'm very happy with where I am in my life. I'm very happy with what I've accomplished. But I also understand that time is the most valuable resource we have. It is something that passes us by in the moment. And if we don't take the time to understand ourselves better, to get ourselves in momentum, to take action, to not allow fear, not allow social circles, to not allow environmental circumstance to prevent us from becoming a better version of ourselves, then at some point we will probably give up. And when we give up, we become unhealthy mentally, emotionally, and physically. And when we become unhealthy mentally, emotionally, and physically, what happens is that we get into a state of depression, and it's really hard to dig ourselves out of, right? And so I encourage you, take some time to look at what this program is, what it can do for you, what it can do for others. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe you're not ready, and that's okay. But I know you know somebody that is. And all I ask is that you take the time to share this with somebody that you know so that we can make an impact on the world, that we can continue to be that influence for people and help them become a better version of themselves, to help them experience some of the things that you've experienced within our community, within ILF, outside of ILF, and start to see what's possible, right? And when you start to understand what's possible, remarkable things will happen. ILF would have never happened had we not started to take some of these steps. And it wasn't about being the fittest person on the planet. Honestly, I like to work out 3-4 days a week. Tiffany likes to work out 7 days a week, right? I enjoy what physical activity and exercise does for me, but I also have realized some things over the last few months that when I can't do it 100% and I can't do it the way that that I like to do it, and that's giving just that intense effort because maybe I'm experiencing injury, etc., is I get in my own way and then I don't do it at all, right? For the last month, I didn't work out very much because my back was bothering me. And I was doing the things on a preventative basis that was going to help me to get back to where I was. But I could have been doing some other things during that period of time that would have been, good for my physical health, my mental health. And I was choosing not to do those things because I couldn't come into a group workout and give 110%, right? And so just as you will discover things about yourself, the process of coaching and developing and helping others understand themselves better helps us to understand ourselves better. And in doing so, we'll adapt, adjust, pivot, and we'll continue to be that positive influence for you, your families, and everybody around you. I know my wife would say this was way too long, but I hope you found incredible value in it. And take the time to read the message that's in the text of this video. It has some valuable information in there that'll help you understand what exactly this challenge is about and what exactly we're trying to do. And really what we're trying to do is we're trying to reach people and help people understand that it's not just about coming to ILF. We know that many people's barrier right now is the fact that you are afraid of what's going on in the world. There's chaos, right? There's uncertainty. And right now, it doesn't even feel like it's getting much better, right? We're going back into this wave of Omicron and schools potentially, being shut down for a period of time, etc. And are you going to allow that to continue to prevent you from being healthy physically, mentally, and emotionally? We have a platform that provides you the ability to stay connected to our community in a way that will allow you to feel good. It'll allow you to see potential. And you don't have to come into the studio to do it. We'd love to see you back in the studio. We miss many of you that have not been into the studio in many months, weeks, and some in years at this point. The last 18 to 20 months has been really hard. And Tiffany and I have taken a lot of time, effort, and energy to put a program together that provides you enormous value, that's going to allow you to level yourself up in a way that maybe you've never done before. And With that being said, we want to take every barrier, restriction, or limitation away. We want to take any doubts that you have away. And so if you choose to do this challenge, and at the end of the challenge, you don't feel that it gave you value, you walk away from it. You engaged yourself in the challenge, right? Not that you joined and then didn't do it, right? But you engaged yourself in the challenge. And after that 6 week period of time, you feel like it wasn't of value to you, we'll give your money back. That's how important and how powerful we think this can be for people. We will put our money where our mouth is, right? We will provide you value and community and content that's going to improve your life, and you'll walk away from it. And there's no way that you can't say that it's worth $199. So quit second guessing yourself, quit getting in your own way, and make a decision to improve your health mentally, emotionally, and physically. And that just doesn't mean burning 1,000 calories in an hour. That means taking the time to care for the body that you'll live in your entire life. It's the one body you have. Care for it thoughtfully. Surround yourself with amazing people that will lift you up and provide value and provide inspiration, and will provide you the ability on your darkest of days to wake up and know that everything's going to be okay. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you all sometime again soon. Love you all.